Hello, and welcome to Scarlet, Blue, and You, the podcast where we celebrate the people, stories, and experiences that make Hannibal-LaGrange University such a special place. I'm your host, Lauren Youse, and today we're heading behind the curtain. HLGU Theatre is preparing for its spring production of Rumors, the classic comedy by Neil Simon, coming to the stage April 16th through 18th. And I'm joined today by HLGU Theatre faculty member Sabrina Brookshire, who is directing Rumors this spring and who also directed this show in 2008. So cool. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Lauren.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
All right. So to get us started, can you share a bit about your role at HLG and your involvement with the theater program?
Yes. So I am assistant theater professor of theater, dun, dun, dun. And I'm also our campus technical director. So what those two roles mean is I get to teach theater classes, and that means I direct our productions as well. And then the technical director stuff, I get to do all of our creative technology on campus. So sound, lights, scenery,
It's a
things
big
like
job.
that. It is. It's super fun. It gets me across campus too, because that's not just confined to the theater. So I get to work other events across campus and get to be involved in other areas, which I absolutely love. It gets us beyond our department walls. So,
And I think I first saw you on stage as Fagin in Oliver Twist back in the day.
so Artful Dodger. But yeah, that was a while back. That's kicking it back.
Yeah.
That was such a fun show.
That was back before HLG had Parker Theatre.
Yeah, we were down at the Orpheum on 5th and Broadway.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was super fun. It was fun to play a character that just stretched me a lot.
So yeah, you've been with HLG Theatre now for,
Well,
we're not going to add it up, but a few decades.
Yes, I have.
And you're still loving it.
I do love it very much. It's awesome. I would have never dreamed as a student here in the undergrad program that the Lord would bring me back and allow me to be a part this way. And I love it.
We don't make plans to stay, but
No. But
Hannibal-LaGrange and the Lord have other plans.
It sucks you in
Yeah.
in a very good way.
But I say, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be here. Okay, so you directed Rumors here at Hannibal-LaGrange in 2008. So what made this the right time to bring the show back?
Yeah, so something unique for me in Rumors is it was the first full-length play that I ever directed. I had directed a children's show, which are always a little smaller, shorter, smaller scale, and so it has a special place in my heart for that. And originally I grabbed hold of it because as I was reading it, so when I read, and I don't know what you're like when you're reading, but I don't always show like a lot of outward emotion. So like if I'm reading, unlike watching a TV show or something, I might laugh internally, but I don't necessarily like laugh outwardly or cry outwardly or something. And as I was reading it for the first time, I'm like cracking up by myself in, the living room out loud. Like it's pretty great. And so I'm like, this is it. And it's just very well written. And so it's one that I always eventually wanted to come back to, but you need to put some space, right?
Right.
Because you really don't want to like duplicate something you've already done. You want a fresh take. And so you need some distance for that reason. And then sometimes too, especially in something that just really stuck in your mind and it was such a good experience, you want, again, to be able to have like a fresh look and not just like see the characters the way they were done before by those actors and by that staging and design. And does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so again, I think it's just about putting space so you don't create something you've already done. So all that said, to answer your question, we pivoted this semester and we bumped our musical to next year, and for multiple reasons. And we really felt like something light-hearted would be good. And so it just seemed like the right time. It had been enough time. We won't talk about how many years ago that was, but it had been enough time. We felt like to create it new, and it was something we could kind of pivot to quicker because we had some prior knowledge of it already, and so it just fit. It fit with the timing.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I love a comedy. Okay, so for people unfamiliar with the show, how would you describe Rumors, and what do you think audiences will enjoy the most?
Yeah. So it's, I feel, somewhat fast-paced. As we know, plays are dialogue driven. And so I think that's why in our today's society, we struggle a little bit to lock in and keep our focus, because it's a lot of listening, and it really keeps moving. I wouldn't say every moment is fast paced, but there's a lot happening. And it's somewhat organized chaos, I guess.
Sounds perfect.
It's fast. There's a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of assumptions. It's so fun is another word. It's just fun to watch these characters and everything unravel.
And they're at a dinner party.
Yes, they are at a dinner party.
One set the whole time.
One set the whole time. Yep. So they're at a really fancy house. It takes place in the living room. And when the play picks up, one couple, so there's 4 couples that arrive throughout. And when the lights go up, one couple is already there. And then as couples arrive, the Myra and Charlie Brock, who own the home and are having this dinner party gone awry, you actually never see them. Spoiler. Sorry. You don't see them through the whole play that own the house.
Do you hear them?
You're
not at liberty to say?
I can't spoil that much for you.
Okay.
I won't go there. But and so these couples arrive and are trying to...
Okay. So it's a comedy.
It is
but
a comedy.
It's also kind of murder mystery?
I would not say it's a murder mystery. There's some mystery involved. Again,
Okay.
I don't want to give away too much, but there is some mystery involved. I would not call it a murder mystery.
You'd call it comedy.
Yeah.
Straight. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what do you think audiences are going to enjoy the most?
Yeah. I think just as things ensue and just keep building on top of each other, I think it's quick pacedness. They'll really enjoy. It's funny. It's not. So if you came and saw the play that goes wrong, it is not, I would say, that kind of humor where it's just continual slapstick kind of thing. But just the characters are very well written. They're unique. I feel like they're own unique to themselves.
Perfect.
And so I think they'll really enjoy the characterization and the physical comedy that comes into it as well.
Yeah. And so the setting is not current time.
It is not, but it's not too far back.
What, 1980?
Yeah, like 1989, 90.
So we're thinking Dallas. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Those really puffy sleeves.
Yes. I was going to say, let me tell you, designing for this is so fun because
bet.
I just love the design, whether it's through the costumes or the scenic design or things. It was really funny. So a prop that we have in the show is a cordless phone.
Oh,
and
you're fancy 80s. That's
yes.
right.
Yeah. Don't worry. I did the research to make sure. I was like thinking, when did my family transition to a cordless phone? What year was that?
When did we become cool?
Yeah. Right. When were we able to start moving around the house with the phone? And so I looked it up and cordless phones definitely started moving in the 80s, and this was a very well-to-do couple, and so I think they definitely would have had a cordless phone. And so we have it sitting on the table, and it's they have to use it a lot, and it was really humorous to watch my students pick up the phone, and I had to kind of teach them, okay, you got to press this button.
These poor babies. I mean,
they're
from what year were they born? They're after 2000.
Yeah.
They just don't know.
Yeah, and some of them are I know
how to use this.
Yeah. So that was humorous. But yeah, it's late 80s, early 90s. We're going to have some great hair. I am super pumped about the 80s, 90s hair. We're going to use a lot of Aquanet.
A lot of hairspray.
Yeah.
I love it.
And they're very overdone. The characters also, we have, of course, amazing costuming ladies that are coming in to help. And they are so excited to go big.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a few characters that really purposely are trying too hard.
Okay.
And so you really, I told the ladies, I was don't hold back. Let's just go for it.
You cannot cross the line.
Great. Yeah, because it's a kind of an elegant dinner party, and they're all very well to do, and so they went extravagant in the dress. So
I'm excited just to see the costumes.
Yeah.
All right. So how are students involved in the production?
Yes, and so backstage, on stage, all the way around. Of course, we have students acting as well as some community members' involvement as well. And, from stage manager, Josie is our stage manager. And
excellent.
She's just incredible.
This is her second show?
Third, I
third
think.
show. Okay.
Yeah. And I think. And and then we have some involved helping our costuming ladies as well, and
building
hair,
sets?
makeup, sets, the whole works. There's not an area untouched by our students.
Excellent.
And their involvement. So, yeah.
All right. So this is a school where we learn things. So what are you hoping students are learning from this experience?
Well, I always think it's neat for our students to experience great playwrights. Not last fall, but the fall before, we did Hedda Gabler by Ibsen. And Ibsen's such an important author for them to get to know, to be able to experience. I think Neil Simon is as well. And so I'm excited for them to latch onto one of his works. He is a contemporary playwright, and I think he passed in 2018. And so, he's in our time, and he is also, very well known. I think he had at one point, and this is, I don't know, the only person that I know had this many plays running on Broadway at one time. I think he had like 4 running on Broadway at one time.
That is pretty impressive.
Yeah. And, he won the Pulitzer Prize for Lost in Yonkers, which was one of his dark comedies. He's known for comedy. And so I think that it's good for them to get exposure from the one that was called the Comedy King. He just could write characters really well. He also wrote characters that people are drawn to their characters. I think this is another reason why our audience will be drawn to the stories, is because they're about really everyday characters in everyday life. I feel like the plot lines are things you could walk away, some of it saying, yeah, that's happened to me, or that could have happened to me.
Okay.
It's not so far-fetched in the conflict, or he wrote about the people he knew and experienced everyday life with. So I think it's really relatable in some ways, in some of his characters. So I'm excited for our students and our community to be able to expose to that is a big reason. But I think comedy in itself, it's interesting. I have a lot of young actors that'll come in, and if they have to pick a monologue or something, they always gravitate to comedy because it's fun, and it is fun. But I think they think it's easier than trying to pull out like more of the hard emotion, like the gut-wrenching emotion. Really, it's so much harder. Comedy is so much harder because it's all about timing and delivery, whether that delivery like through your tone or through your body language. It is hard. And so I think it's a challenge for us. Our students and our community members are amazing, but I think it's always a challenge to pull off comedy well. And so, just going big with the characters, I think something that, we're in the early stages of rehearsals right now. And so really pushing them to go big. I always tell them it is so much easier for me to pull you back than to keep asking for more and more and more. And so going big with the characters, finding the timing, finding what's unique to our characters. And so I think it's really pushing us in that way. And so hopefully they come away, of course, growing in their art, learning more about deeper characterization, things like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny. That was my next question about how comedy can be deceptively challenging.
It is so challenging.
Yeah. So you said you kind of challenge them to go big. Is there? Do you have any other little tricks that you use to get them to?
Yeah. We have a lot of different acting exercises and things, whether it's within their character or just in general, that we do to get to push us and, to be bigger, whether it's physical, vocal. Like in this show, we have a couple of characters, like one that we're just trying something different with her voice, and it's been super fun. She's doing so great, and a lot of people will be like, well, I'm just bad with accents. And I'm like, no, you're not bad. You just don't try them.
Yeah.
You have to try them, And she's having a lot of fun. Last night, she was landing it, and then sometimes it would go Southern. And so we just, trying is the best way.
Okay.
And so I say, you can't just think it. You can't just process it. You have to try it. And I always tell them, don't be afraid to try it and sound bad or not accomplish what we want, because it's the trying and the doing that gets us eventually to where we want to go. So be creative. And if I correct it or say, hey, let's try this instead, it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It's actually giving me a palette to work with, which is super great. So I will tell you a unique exercise we're doing this week is I gave them all the assignment to relate an animal to their character. Okay. And so, whether that's through how they move or through how they think that animal acts, if they're darty or if they're smooth in their movements or whatever like that. They had to come in with a video, and we had to talk about why. We're still working on this. There's further we're going to go with it. But so it's kind of super fun. It's getting them to think outside of the box. It's getting them to associate different characteristics or movements, mannerisms or things like that with their character they may not have thought of, because the goal is to come in and not play ourselves, but to really like be that character and enjoy getting into their skin and their life. And
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know last year when I was the turkey farmer and Chitty
You
Chitty
were
Bang Bang,
amazing
I worked
farmer,
up
by
an
the way.
entire backstory for those 9 lines. And
As you should. And, we have...
it was so fun. I had a great time.
You did an awesome job. I was so glad you did it.
And 9 lines was the perfect amount of lines for me.
Plus, you were in a lot of other scenes.
That's true, but I didn't have to talk.
Yeah.
Singing is fine, but the
Yes.
talking makes me a little nervous.
We have a couple of characters that come in at the end of the play, and I think I'll just leave it there and let people figure out. You got to stay. You got to stay through the whole show.
Don't
to know
miss
who
it.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But these characters are smaller, but really help in the end kind of wrap up the show.
Okay.
And it just shows that no matter the character's like a line amount, for real, our stage time are so important. Some people are familiar with the show Harvey.
Yes.
And such a good show.
Invisible Rabbit.
Yes,
Yes.
the puka. And, it's interesting because through the whole show, Veda wants him to change, her brother to change. And to the point of trying to get him into this mental institution. And the cabbie in the very end in Act 3 comes in for I'd have to go back and look, probably 2.5 pages, if that, and helps Veda realize that Elwood is the way he needs to be. And so it's the cabbie that comes in at the end and kind of ties the play up and and so such an important role. I had a professor in my grad work that said he'd been in Harvey 3 times, and he said, but I've never played the role that I really wanted. And
Which
that
is
was
a cabbie?
The cabbie. Yeah. And so, man, it's some of those smaller roles that aren't as static and allow you to be dynamic and really go for it and can, so a lot of main characters have to be kind of even.
Right.
But
Right. It's fun to be like the lead, but it's really fun to be like the bad guy or this one cameo that is outrageous.
Right. Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
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 So fun.
Okay. So Rumors.
Yes.
Running nightly at 7:00
Yes.
at the Parker Theatre in the Roland Fine Arts Center. Thursday, April 16th through Saturday, April 18th.
7 p.m.
Tickets are on sale.
Tickets are on sale.
Okay. Easiest way to get them is online.
Online is the easiest way. Yeah, you
Okay.
can call our box office, of course, 573-629-3182.
And it's more of a message service.
It is. Leave a message. We'll get back with you within 24 to 48 hours just because we don't have full-time box office staff. But the fastest way is just to go online. And
And you can go to HLG.edu. The easiest way for me to find you, this is not going to sound easy, is to click on academics and scroll down to theater. Click on that, and then there's a little tab that says current productions.
Yeah.
And then that goes to the Tix link. But you know what? We're going to make this easy. We're going to put the link in the bottom of the podcast.
Perfect.
So you can link right to the ticket information.
Yeah, that's good. And less clicks. But
And you have some group rates again this year?
We do. So, and just so you know, it is assigned seating. However, all the seats are the same price.
Oh, nice.
And so $14 for general admission.
Such a deal.
And then,
Good date
and I
night.
say general admission, assigned seating, but everyone is $14. It is a good date night.
It is a great date night.
Yeah. And then if it's groups of 10 or more or 60 or over, then it is $12. So you get $2
I'm going to bring my
off.
mom. It's just got a better date night. Not that she's over 60.
Yeah. Come date night, or get a group from your life group, your church group together. Come with those 10 or more people and come.
I
join
say,
us.
what would you say the ages would be that would enjoy the show? Like kids?
Yeah, I mean, it is appropriate, I feel like, for all ages.
Okay.
But it is longer. I mean, it's full-length play, so it's kind of run. We start at 7, we'll probably be done by 9:30, so 2.5 hours with an intermission in there. So it is longer. It is fast-moving, but I would say probably for attention, 12 or over.
Yeah.
And, they still might miss some of the jokes or some things happening. But, yeah, I would say about 12 or over.
Okay.
But,
all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been great. We're excited about Rumors.
We are super
next
excited.
month.
Yeah.
That'll be really good.
Yeah. And I always say, stay tuned to, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, connect with our theater arts page because we love putting behind the scenes stuff.
You guys do a good job with that.
Well, thank you. We have fun making them.
They're quirky and fun.
Yeah, you can meet some of our actors, all the antics that go backstage. So it's kind of fun to see the making of the show in a little way, just some of the things that happen. So and it keeps you up to date on times and ticket sales and things like that. So
perfect.
And if you want to be involved, we love volunteers.
Yeah.
And so come out and help.
You can be like, I painted that staircase.
Yeah, yes. Oh, on that note, we're having a build day on this Saturday.
Okay.
From 9 to noon. And if you come, you can come to the lower parking lot of the Fine Arts Building, and the door that goes by the loading dock will be unlocked. And you can come on in, and no experience required.
Okay.
And if you want to come help paint.
All right. So today is St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
I'm trying to
think
I'm making
dates.
our people be really good about doing stuff. So it's the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st? Is that Saturday?
I'm going to look.
That sounds about right.
I think so. Yeah.
21st.
21st.
So
Saturday 21st.
Feel like helping out with the set?
Yes. And seriously, it's okay if you don't have prior
you've had kids on set before.
Yeah.
Helping paint and move stuff.
So we're going to be trying to really make it far progress on this set. So come get a sneak
Very
peek that
exciting.
way. So, yeah.
All right. So just to recap, join us for Rumors,
Yes.
Neil Simon's funny play, April 16th through 18th, 7 o'clock each night. You'll support students, enjoy an evening of laughter, and experience live theater at HLG in Hannibal, Missouri, which doesn't get to happen very often. So it's a good opportunity. Thank you for listening to The Scarlet, Blue, and You. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And we'll see you next time.